Good afternoon, Littleton. Welcome to 01460 on the go. Today is July 31st. I'm Karen Morrison, and here next to me on my right is our beloved town administrator, Mr. Jim Duggan.
Beloved, thank you, Madam Chairwoman.
Of course. And today you may have seen their signs in people's front yards, and maybe you've seen posts on Facebook. Yes for Littleton is a new organization in town, and here to talk with us about it is Annalise Tabor. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
Annalise is chair of the Yes for Littleton ballot question committee in support of the new Shaker Lane School. She is a Littleton native, attended LPS before earning her BFA at Northeastern University. And she is happy to be back in Littleton, right?
Amen. Yes,
very
absolutely.
happy. And where she runs her own graphic design business, and she has two sons, one of whom will be attending Shaker Lane.
Yep. So next fall, not
Next
this coming
fall.
fall, but next fall, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So welcome again, and thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Can you tell us what's with the signs? What are they all about?
Yeah.
Yes for Littleton.
So I started Yes for Littleton because, obviously I have a vested interest because my son is going to Littleton to Shaker Lane soon. But I started sort of hearing about the project, and I joined the communications committee for the actual building project. And I realized pretty quickly that we weren't able to advocate in the way that I felt like the project needed to be advocated for, just because, the way that, like, the superintendent and the principal and things like that, like, just the way that politically they can't,
Sure, there's a lot of regulations
Exactly.
about what
Exactly.
employees and elected officials and
Exactly.
everyone associated officially with the town can and can't do.
Yeah, because I know, if they could, they would be, full-throated yes. But, I respect that we all have rules that we have to abide by. So, so a few of us, sort of just community members of that committee, branched off, and we created this Yes for Littleton campaign, which, is vocally in support of the school building project, but almost more importantly is I sort of took it upon myself as my personal mission to get through all of the data and find the narrative and find the story and make it compelling. And, I recognize that this is the most expensive project that Littleton has ever, even thought of. And so it's kind of a crazy time right now. Like, people are nervous about money. People are nervous about budgets. People are nervous about big spending and politics and all of that. And so I would be doing this research on my own.
Sure.
And so I figured I can be of value here. Like, I can help people with this vote. And I would say our overall mission is that nobody goes to the polls without at least knowing that this project exists and knowing that there's, information easily accessible. And, we don't want anybody ignorant of what they're voting on, because this is a big one.
And so just to run back to basics,
Yeah.
Shaker Lane is our K through 2 school.
Yep.
It also has preschool years.
Yep.
And coming up on October 28th with our special town meeting, we'll be voting on whether to move forward with a plan to build a new Shaker Lane school
Yes.
to replace the current building. And then after that special town meeting vote, if it passes, there will be a ballot question on November 1st.
And that's for the debt override, yeah.
And so everything would have to pass in order for us to move forward with
Yeah, so
the Shaker Lane project.
2 votes. That's the most important part. 2 votes. So one is town meeting and then one is town election. So, we need to make sure that people can get to town meeting. We need to make sure people have a plan to vote. Talk to your friends, talk to your neighbors. It's very much a sort of grassroots effort.
And so you talked about information and how that's something that's been sort of at the core of your mission.
Yeah.
What are some of the questions that you've gotten that are most heard, or that you hear the most, rather?
Yeah. So we have had a presence at Third Thursday, these past 2 Third Thursdays,
yeah.
and then we're going to be at this next one in August. And I've been getting a lot of questions at those Third Thursdays because it's kind of a cross-section of people.
Yeah.
And so the first Third Thursday, I actually had a senior come up to me, and I was very excited to talk to her because, she's not a member of my close community. Like I don't have, I don't get to talk to seniors just in my day to day. And so, I was like, okay, what's on your mind? Because she was giving me kind of a face. And I was like, okay, all right, let's talk.
A skeptical face?
Yeah, a little bit like and she was like, we can't afford a Taj Mahal. Like, we can't, my taxes can't go up. Like, I can't, what are we going to do? And I was like, I absolutely understand that. Like, that's part of the reason I'm doing this campaign is because, like, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money, like, period. But the thing about it that sort of galvanized me is it's a lot of money either way. And I feel like people don't realize that.
So what do you mean by either way?
So basically, if you vote yes for the project, your taxes are going to go up. If you vote no for the project, your taxes are going to go up.
I see.
Because what happens is if we don't vote for the new school, we're going to end up spending $44 million plus, I think that's a very conservative estimate, on repairing Shaker Lane and making it last hopefully another 10 years. And then on top of that, building another brand new school. So we're basically kicking the can down the road and spending millions
Tens of
to
millions,
do so. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, people seem surprised when I tell them that part, that, it's not just yes, big giant school, or no spending at all. It's expensive either way. And
Right.
Shaker Lane is needed so badly. So we talked about it, and, I tried to sort of, it's like, what would make this an easier vote for you? And she was like, well, I can't afford more in taxes. And I was like, let's explore ways to make that information more accessible. So that's my next sort of project now, is looking into, tax deferment things, especially for the senior population and things like that. Like, I want to take, like, I've been very upfront with, if you have a question, I'm going to find the answer. Like, if I don't know it, great. Like, I'm going to figure out, like, I have access to all of these people in town. People seem to want to talk to me, which I love. Like you guys, I appreciate it. And, I'm going to find these answers, and I'm going to help people where I can. And, I think it's so important.
You have, your messaging is very good from everything you're saying. One thing that I would recommend you continue to support or advocate or clarify is the 44 to 50 million conservative money. That's only bringing it up to code compliance.
Exactly.
That does not solve the issue with there's no room.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
They're still in hallways. They're still in closets. They're still putting a divider down in the middle of the classroom, and you can hear the other classroom right next to you.
Yeah. I would encourage people that sort of are brand new to this and have no background on this. I would encourage them to attend a tour and info session so you can see the school for yourself.
Sure.
Because that really changed my mind. Once I saw it, was like, oh,
Right.
they're on the
Right.
school stage. Oh, there's desks in the hallways. Like, what's going on here?
Right.
So the next tour and info session is August 14th at 6:30, and that's at Shaker Lane, hosted by the Shaker Lane Building Committee.
Yeah, Jim and I attended one
Yeah,
of those
I
as
mean,
well.
that's
It's
what changed my
eye-opening.
mind. Like, I was like, oh, people need to know about this.
And it's not just what you see. Granted, the classroom situation is not good,
Yeah.
right? And is not workable
Yeah.
for the future, but also behind the scenes, right? It's the fact that there's a boiler,
Right.
a
Right.
boiler
I know.
that only covers, part of the building.
Right.
And there's very little air conditioning, that the electrical system is from when it was originally built.
59.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it can't handle all the electronics that a modern school uses every day, day in, day out.
And the fire panel is near end of life. I mean, there's a lot of systems that are near end of life. And the code upgrade, importantly, will not bring it up to energy code. That's a whole separate thing. And the code upgrade, one of the things that would happen is all of the ADA required modifications would be part of the code upgrade. And that includes things like larger bathroom stalls, larger,
Doorways in some
larger
cases.
doorways, an actual elevator instead of that lift that they have right now. And again, what like blew my mind was, how do we fit these things? Oh, we're going to push further into learning space.
Correct.
So
Elevator. It's an elevator also.
Exactly. So it's like,
Right.
And the elevator, I guess they already explored this. It can't be exterior to the building. It can't be one of the ones that's on the outside. It's got to be interior. So
Right.
and
more,
it's got to hold
more
a stretcher.
space gone.
So it's got to be big enough to hold a stretcher.
Right.
That's big.
And I think
Yeah.
for those of us who have been researching this and have been, in the weeds on it, the code upgrade, we know what that means. But just to give a little background, the code upgrade would be required by the state. This isn't something that we can choose to do or not choose to do. It's based on assessed value and how much repairs and renovations cost. And once you hit 2 point,
It's like 2.73, I think,
Yeah.
for Shaker Lane, but I believe it's like
30%.
30% of the assessed value.
30% of the assessed
building.
value, you've got to make these changes. You've
Yeah.
got to do these repairs. You've got to do these upgrades.
Right. Opens up Pandora's box.
Thank you. That's
Yeah.
a great way to put it. And it's not optional.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Exactly. But I did ask, so another question was asked of me, what happens if we are in the middle of building the new school? So let's say we voted yes twice, we're good, we're moving down the road. What happens if then the boiler goes?
Oh,
And
Good question.
Which I thought that was a great question.
Yeah.
I
It
was
is a
like,
great question.
I was like, no way are we going to have to do both. No. So the answer to that is that the code inspector has the authority to not require that we bring things up, given that we're about to tear down,
gotcha.
since we're building a new school. So
Well, that's
there's the
reassuring.
answer to that. Yeah. So I'm getting all kinds of weird questions like that where I'm like, that's a great question.
Yeah.
Like, let me go find that out. So stuff I never would have thought about.
Sure.
Right.
And yeah,
I'm sorry, go
Neil.
ahead.
Nope.
Another thing that I think would really help people understand that we're not an anomaly. This project is not an anomaly.
Oh,
You
yeah.
look at the pricing that's out there for elementary schools. They're astronomical. They're way beyond anything I've ever seen in my career, without a doubt.
Yeah.
That's the industry standard today, and that's something that every community is faced with.
And it's worth noting that our MSBA project, so the Massachusetts School Building Authority,
Yeah.
so our project with them is within our cohort, we are the cheapest.
Yep.
So, I mean,
Per square foot.
yeah, per square foot.
And so not just comparing, our small town
Exactly,
elementary
right. Per
school
square
with the,
foot.
with the
Right.
major cities.
Right.
It's per square foot, so it,
Yeah, which is a good apples to apples
Translates.
way of doing it,
Yep.
because there's no other really good way to compare.
Right.
So, I mean, that speaks to how hard the team has been working to cut costs and, choose, not Taj Mahal
Right.
building
materials.
materials and things.
Yeah.
They're not making it out of marble,
Sure. And they're even giving thought to what materials can we source locally,
Exactly.
so that we avoid any of the uncertainty of tariffs, for example, which
Exactly.
I've heard that question myself several
Yep,
times.
that was another one with, how do we know that this isn't going to be way more than they're quoting? And it's, part of the MSBA process is we're going to use a project manager at risk or construction manager at risk.
Correct.
And their entire job is to keep us on budget
Yep.
at their own risk.
Exactly.
So, we won't have to, the taxpayers won't be asked for any more money. It'll be,
Yeah, good job.
It'll be
Yeah,
on that,
spot on.
that individual. So, that, and then there's no guarantee that if we go with, if we vote no and we go with the code upgrades to the old school, there's no guarantee that tariffs won't hit us there.
Sure.
I mean, that's going to be the Wild West.
That's an interesting point.
Yeah, that's going to be crazy.
Sure.
So,
We have done that CM at risk, construction manager at risk.
yes.
We did that just recently for the
Center.
the
yes,
senior
thank
center,
you.
yeah.
And because of that process and how closely watched in the detail is that project is going to turn back over $600,000 back. So we will not have to borrow as much,
Yeah.
which is fantastic.
Yeah.
And that is one of the things that obviously we would be looking to, to replicate
Yeah.
as
Sure.
much as possible for this project.
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
The Shaker Lane Building Committee has information about the price per square foot and the cohorts and what everybody else is doing that's in the same time frame on their website as well.
Yeah.
You mentioned Third Thursday, and so that's one of the things that your organization has planned. What else is Yes for Littleton doing?
So we are continuing with our, we're placing signs wherever we can. So reach out if you'd like a sign. We have meetings every 2 weeks until the vote. So our next meeting is August 5th at 7 o'clock in the Sturts Room at the Reuben Hoare Library. And then the one after that is August 19th, 7 o'clock, again in the Sturts Room at the Reuben Hoare Library. And then we will be at the Shaker Lane Tour and Info Session. There's one August 14th and another October 21st. We'll be at Third Thursday, August 21st. We'll be as many places as we're allowed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we want to be, we want people to maybe get sick of us. We want to be so many places. So, yeah. And we're going to just ramp up as time goes on.
So if folks are in their car right now and not able to write down all that information, where would they be able to find it?
yesforlittleton.org.
Okay.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I want to thank you so much for your time today and for stepping up and helping the community. I really very much appreciate it.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Yeah,
Thank you.
this is one of the things that I love about Littleton is eventually somebody says, "Okay, I'll do it."
That's me.
Absolutely. Very impressive.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you. I
thanks so
appreciate
much
it.
for your time, and we'll be back in 2 weeks, Littleton, and we'll look forward to seeing you then.